Sorry about that. Alright, guys, we are actually going to start part 2 now. Like I said earlier in part 1, sometimes when I end a video of one part of the series, it's not going to pick up in the same spot. This is an example of that. Even though I didn't even end it where I should have. This is starting at the intermodal yard. We're going to pull 60 intermodal containers to Barstow. And we're actually further east than we should be. We're running with 3-9s, and a GP38-2. And it is 60 intermodals with some rail rides. Right here is would be I-215. That is the Fifth Street Bridge. That should be the 9th Street. Baseline, and then further up is Highland. In the distance is the San Bernardino Mountains. Anyway, let's knock the brakes. Getting this thing started should be a little bit fun because we're at a 0.7 on the gradient. It might not be as bad as I think it's going to be. Once again, like I said, that we are going by mile mark. So right at the start is going to be mile marker 78. So we are by rail. Even though by car I think it's less, by 20 miles. It's pulling. The front end's pulling good, but the rear end's moving now. 7% upgrade right now. This thing pulls a lot better than the other thing. There was our yard limit board for San Bernardino. And a few blocks on the other side is going to actually be the downtown district of the city. Now this simulation does not have it. The new San Bernardino downtown San Bernardino Transit Center station, which is where all the buses for San Bernardino and the Metrolink terminus is. I think they're trying to make a light rail or something out to Redlands or Yekopa or whatever. I'll need to find out about that. Now we're climbing like we should. I'm gonna increase the throttle to about 6, not 6, which would be 75%. Now coming down the Cajun grade, I'm going off of assumptions here. It's harder going down the south base coming into San Bernardino in Los Angeles than it is going out. Like I said, I could be wrong about that. I'm going off of personal assumptions. After this video series, like I said, eventually I'm going to buy the rail driver system. That's going to be $200. When I do that, I'm going to do a 100-car. My intro to that will probably be something pretty fun. Also, while I'm going over this, I want to say this right here is Highland. It might be earlier than Highland. Like I said, it could be earlier than Highland Avenue. Going around this corner, I do know that there was the site of the San Bernardino big derail back in, I want to say that was 89. Now, there's not a whole lot as far as the industry is concerned going up and over Cajun Pass. All the signals here are, two of the signals here are flashing yellow, and the other one is just a solid approach. Talk about, physical halfway point when you're driving. I'm going to bring this up now and just kill time. Let's make the climb out of. Actually, no, bring it up. Still not sure exactly where we are. Just come outside for a minute so I can try to figure a few things out exactly where we are. Surface street. There is an interstate or California State Freeway that's not legally regarded as an interstate somewhere near here that I need to notate. 9th Street is, I think it's right here actually. It's the 210, which the way to the that's the 210. That's not the 210, it's the next one. No, that's not. It's the next one should be the 210. Yeah, this one right here is the 210 freeway. And then that's, I want to say, Mount Vernon Avenue or Medical Center Drive or whatever. One of those two streets comes up and meets the tracks to go up. Like I said, that interstate crosses there. We're going to put full throttle in now. We're climbing a 2.1% grade at this point in the trip. But like I said, this is the highlands going into the mountain, into the full mountains. What's funny is I think the passenger speed limit, the freight speed limit is 60 through here, which we're not going to do. The passenger speed limit is 79 through here. In Arizona and all, the Southwest Chief can do up to 90 miles an hour. And I'm basing that off my own observations. Riding the train, which I did in April of 2018. I actually rode that train, the Southwest Chief, from Chicago all the way to LA, including riding over the Cajun Pass. Now, I wish the train was 2, 3, 4 hours late that trip, because then I would have been able to experience Cajon in the daylight and would have gotten a nice video recording of the whole trip between Victorville and San Bernardino. Unfortunately for me, the train was running less than 20 minutes late into and out of every station on the trip, and was 20 minutes early into Los Angeles Union Station. As the Southwest Chief goes into San Bernardino, into Los Angeles or goes through Barstow during, I believe it's the 3 o'clock hour, and it goes into the 4 o'clock hour at some point, I think is when it's supposed to go through Victorville, and then San Bernardino, so it's like 5 something in the San Bernardino. That's not it. I think this is actually Duffy Street. I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember exactly what Duffy is in San Bern, in reference to the San Bernardino rail disaster back in '89. Actually, I'm surprised to see that there is industry over there, and the reason I said I'm surprised about that is just because of how steep the gradient is. This right now is 6 tracks wide, but most of Cajun Pass is actually going to be 3 wide. Actually 4 wide, because there's 3 BNSF tracks on the pass, and then there's 1 Union Pacific track. But I believe UP has trackage rights on the BNSF side, so they can use all 4 tracks. And I think both rail carriers can use all 4 tracks if the need arises. But I could be wrong about that last comment as well. Now we're on 2.4 grade, if I haven't said what the previous grade was, and you can see the gradient. As we're climbing, you can see the grade. And I can see, just beyond the distance of the drawing, of the sim draws, it's going to get steeper. I think it's 3 point something. I know there's a certain way they want you to run it, going up and over this pass. I completely forget what it is. Off the top of my head. Cal State San Bern is probably back a ways, right, that last bridge, among other things, so that's something to consider. To run this train out to Barstow, and then I'll probably run Intermodal all the way to Belen, and then from Belen I'll run some other stuff. Because this line is an intermodal hotbed. Now there's three pretty steep sections of rail on the whole trip. If I go the northern way, if I go the southern way, this is the worst of it. And then what makes this one worse is the fact that I said we're just starting off here as opposed to we're starting off right on the right with the gradient instead of having a flat bit for a bit before we get to the grade. And usually can have momentum to use to get over the grade. That road over there is former US Route 66. California designates State Route 66 as Foothill Boulevard from the interchange with I-215 all the way out to the interchange with 210, which is all the way out practically past Montclair. Then Foothill Boulevard itself runs as a surface street, an unchanged name, all the way out to roughly North Los Angeles City. When I say North LA City, I'm thinking Santa Clarita, Newhall to be exact. I think I just let them go. As we're continuing the slow climb, we're doing about 25 going up this hill. Once we get over the pass, it should take us about an hour to get to Barstow and tie it down in the yard. But I could be wrong about the timing. I'm thinking this segment's going to take between 2 and 3 hours just because of the climb. And a good chunk of that time is going to be the climb up. This, I just need the I cannot speak right now. Track monitor, and that should be it. My upload schedule for this will probably be every day for a few weeks while I do this. For the number of days I need to for the whole segment to work. I'm just looking over here, not yet. No, not yet. actually, right now, never mind, we're not as far up along the line as I thought we were. Yeah, it's holding at about a 2324 upgrade. What I was thinking was we were going to be going to through, as we were crossing over the 15 where it interchanges with the 215. We haven't gotten there yet. Rail line over there, which I have only driven that line one time in my simming career, because there is a little bit of wheel slip too going up and over this hill, but the somewhere, but I don't think it's going to be. We'll have to worry about it as much as I don't think we will. But most of this trip is 40 to 50, between 40 and 50 on the uphill, but I think you go a lot slower going down. I think a lot of these grade crossings that we're seeing, I don't know if they're in real life. I feel like they're not. That fork track over there, I think that is the UP track. I could be wrong. That red car is doing it completely wrong. He's going to get himself killed. Even that SUV in a little bit of a sense. They're both going to get themselves killed because they're blocking the UP main. God forbid a train comes the other way. With that being said, we are now going under Interstate 15. We'll still run parallel to 15 and relatively close to it for most of the journey. In addition to Greyhound, Megabus, and Flexbus, there is actually a local public transit agency that runs a city bus line, Victor Valley Transit. Oh, shut up, man. is actually a connector, so the UP train can either climb on this track or descend on this track. And then so the UP motor can use this track right here. I don't know to what extent it goes, you know, whatever. Also, going via this way, going further north on the UP track, you'll eventually run to Palmdale and Lancaster, California. With that being said, with Palmdale and Lancaster, the Metrolink goes as far as Lancaster, but it goes to the Antelope Valley and goes to the Antelope Valley area and goes through the crossing. Then goes down through Newhall, Santa Clarita, Valencia, which is where 6.5 Magic Mountain is, and then parallels to I-5 into Los Angeles. So the Metrolink Way basically parallels California State Route 14 to I-5 and then parallels to 5. The rest of the way into the city of Los Angeles. Now, what I wanted to do when I first moved, when I was out there, because I spent a month in San Bernardino, couldn't find work, came back to Virginia. Now I'm prospering more than ever. Everybody says for me, I just need to stay in Virginia, and you know what? That's probably true. But San Francisco, but as far as residency, people say I just need to stay in Virginia. That's true, even though I do want to try Cali again. I feel like I could do well out there if I had the proper tools and setup to go out there. And one of those things that I did not have, but sorely needed, was a car. As a matter of fact, I had a job ready for me within 3 days of moving there if I could have gotten myself a car. Delivering pizzas for the local Domino's, which was at Baseline in Mount Vernon. So I would have had parts of San Bernardino City and parts of Rialto. So we're at mile marker 6-7, going up towards we're not gonna have to worry about the speed restriction just yet, but we might. As the gradient's actually going up to 2.6 now, it's going to drop to 35 miles an hour in about a little under a mile for a speed limit from 45s. Like I said, we're not even doing 30. We're climbing this thing at 27 miles an hour. So I'm not even worried about the speed restrictions. here's the speed drop, but then it only lasts for about 2 miles, and then it goes back up to the 45 zone that we're accustomed to seeing, but not actually being able to do because of the weight of our train and the uphill gradient, which has dropped back down to 240. What is the road distance between Barstow again and San Bernardino? So the road distance is about 70 miles. here, so I may need to start pulling the throttle back a little. Actually, not really. Says we're getting close to Cajun, but I don't know if we're on the Cajun summit just yet. Is I'm in a position where if I run notch 7, I'm going a little too fast. And if I go notch 6, I don't have enough or notch 7, I don't have enough momentum in the hill. Another grade I would like to try when I can get the graphics on it to work would be the Saluda grade. In North Carolina. Now, that line has closed in real life. I think it closed in the 90s. But it's a, I mean, it's a, once again, that's another fun, another enjoyable grade to try to drive. Over on your right, if you guys can see the semi-trucks, that's where the 15 is. Through these culverts and stuff. So we're going through a canyon or something. Okay, so here at mile marker number 62, that's a weird thing. It looks like a cloud of high altitude fog or something, whatever. So here the tracks are going to split. Not 100% sure what's going on here. Just yet. We are lower than the highway though at this point. We are actually going to be closer to the UP line. Going through here, we're actually going to be we're going to be closer to the Union Pacific as we come through here. 35 now here, I think. It is, and the grade's starting to go back up again. Let's put the full throttle in now. The weird part is there's some urban rail lines that have higher gradients than most of these mountain lines, and that's just the way they build them, like subway approach ramps and stuff. Like, I know, I wouldn't be surprised if the New York City subway line has like a 8 to 10% gradient somewhere, and I know exactly one spot where it should be a real steep gradient. It was on the Q train, leaving Queensboro Plaza at the tunnel mouth right next to the Queensboro Bridge. That's also the fastest spot in the New York City subway system at like 55 miles an hour. So far, we've been running for about 40 minutes since we departed. San Bernardino. it was a 30-mile-an-hour zone, and it was the way this is chaining is a little weird. When we get back to the 3 set, it'll be much better. I'll let you guys know when that happens. So yeah, that's where we stand. Mile markers 60.2. Now this is something funny. I think the largest school bus contractor by service area out of a single school district, so I want to say that it's also out of the single largest school bus outfit, is going to be here in California. As I said in the previous video, we are going to be in San Bernardino County for quite a while. This county is spanning part of all of 2 videos in the series and part of a 3rd. As we are going around Grand Terrace, Houghton is where we enter San Bernardino County. And we don't leave San Bernardino County until we cross into Arizona just after Needles. That was a crossing over of Interstate 15, which we're actually going to, I think, no. No, we're not. There used to be a tunnel somewhere around here. I can almost guarantee it's been daylighted. Actually, I can guarantee that 100% because I think the daylighting was one feature on History Channel's Extreme Trains over 10 years ago as part of them adding the 3rd BNSF, and it was part of adding the 3rd BNSF track. And like I said, I've ridden through here and there was no tunnel to speak of. As a matter of fact, here's a fun fact, which I'll restate again later when we go through the Cajun Pass. There are more tunnels on the Northeast Corridor than there are on the BNSF Transcon and or the Southwest Chief of one on the Southwest Chief and at least 2, 4 5 even if you're going down to include through Alexandria, Virginia. On the corridors, you got the North River Tunnel, the East River Tunnel, even though it's all been combined in, I think, one continuous tunnel now through Belen Station. Because there used to be a daylighted section. Street Tunnel in Washington, D.C. We're climbing this at 25 miles an hour now. And we're actually getting close to, we're about 2 or 3 miles from the default detector, or not, from the summit, really. We're holding in a 2.4 upgrade right now. No crossing here. This should be the summit shortly. Coming up next will be the Silverwood connector. You go the other way like I said before, you go up the UP track and you'll end up at Palmdale, Lancaster. Then you'll go up the Cajun Pass or whatever it's called. Californian natives, you guys can pronounce this better for me. That'll take you to, which is the busiest single track rail line in the country. It'll go up the Central Corridor through places like Bakersfield, which is at the southern end of the Central Valley, Merced, Fresno, Huron, Stockton, continuing up the 5 to and Tracy, and continuing up parallel the 5 and the 99 to Sacramento, or take like 580 and stuff to the city of San Francisco. Summit now. Like I said, the grade on the north side is less challenging than the south. With that being said, we are now on the Silverwood is roughly the summit. Actually, when I say that, I need to start watching my speed as I'm starting to come across, because trailing end is still in a high upgrade. Silverwood, 23 mile an hour up and over the pass, Silverwood. And then that third track that lost us earlier, that's come back now to rejoin us, as we'll run the 3-track main for a while. speed on here because it's there's a small drop, and now we're back on an upgrade, so I'm probably watching the speed for a bit. Keep it at Mach 6 and just see what the train wants to do. Rail distance, it's 23 miles. And it's taken us just under an hour to climb the Cajun Pass. Gave me a whistle board there. About 50% throttle as we are cresting the hill here. My rear end is still climbing, and that we're still on a little bit of an uphill grade here, but it's not as bad. The speed limit's actually going to be, once the rear end clears the next speed sign, it's going to be 50 for quite a ways. And then Victorville should be in about 20 miles. I'm going to say it's going to be about 20, 25 minutes. As of right now, I can just hold as is and call it a day. As we're apparently still on a upgrade, but it's less than a 1 degree up. So we're going to start going down. I think once we're around the next bend, we're actually going to start our descent into the Victor Valley. Speed limit 50, but I'm trying to not. Yeah, there's the sign for the Union Pacific Palmdale to Mojave. We'll idle it out. And we'll set up our dynamic right now. down. I'm going to do dynamic 1 for now. Says we'll hold at about 50 if I hold the dynamic at 1. The speed limit is 50 through here, so that's pretty good. I'm probably gonna increase the dynamic just to be safe. Probably a good time to do it too. Hold the dynamic on 4. I think we're actually slightly above the interstate now. In addition, we're going to go through this switch here. Back on the 2-track main line. Most of the way to Albuquerque is going to be a 2-track action. Speeding a little bit, but I'm actually going to apply the air brakes. Out of some dynamic. Locomotive brake seems to help better than the engine brake. Than the full train line brake. Up on Lugo now, and then once we get by mile marker 49, I think we're gonna top it out. Yeah, once we get by mile marker 48 on our system, we'll be fine. Up and over the pass safely. looks like I'm gonna need to hold here for a minute because my main brake cylinder, I wore out the brakes. I didn't think that was going to happen. Just shy of normal 49. Between Lugo and mile mark 49. I had a brake leak coming off the pass. Probably operator error. As soon as I get the brakes recharged, I'll be on my way. The brake pipe is at 70. That's at 90. I don't remember what that is. My main is at 67. That's what I need to get up. And my brake cylinder's at 0, which is what it should be. Brakes are now released. We're actually good to go. I still am going to want to have to watch my speed for a bit because of potential gradients. Still, even though we're only on a 0.3% downgrade, I just want to still watch it just to be safe. That was 30 miles into the trip so far, and it's been an hour and how long? An hour and 11 minutes. So yeah, I think we'll probably get to Barstow within the hour, though. I think that if we had run that SD40, I don't think we would have made it. Less than a 1% downgrade, so I'm not that worried. Wouldn't be surprised if that called for a hot box. Next major town coming up is going to be Victorville. This is going to be the first station not served by the Southwest or not served by Metrolink leaving Los Angeles, and is the first Amtrak only station. And it's basically Amtrak only the rest of the way from here out to Albuquerque area, which somewhat surprises me that Albuquerque does commuter rail, and so is Salt Lake City now, but not the larger city of excuse me. Phoenix, Arizona. San Francisco has limited commuter rail, but their subway system is set up as like a hybrid subway commuter rail network in a way. I can say that. Atlanta has a subway system, but no commuter rail. Chicago has an extensive rail network. Seattle's getting commuter rail slowly. Portland, I hear, has it, but I will confirm the extent of it later. Boston has a network, even though it's less than a good, decent network, even though it's less than 1 million. New York has an extensive network. 3 commuter rail networks, probably at least 20 different commuter rail lines into New York, plus you got 20 plus subway lines. Philadelphia has one connects to, and one actually has a same station connection to a New York commuter line. DC has 2 commuter rail networks, 5 commuter rail lines. That's the extent of the Northeast. Like I said, you got Chicago. Some cities here and there have it. As I'm talking, I don't pay attention to my speed. Some minimal brake applications here, just to. Oh, and it dropped to 55. I'm going to be right back. Okay, we're still recklessly speeding. Let me slow it down. I'm going to slow it more towards like 45 because it's turning into a 45 zone up here, so. Why is my main up to 130 now? Brakes are released. And the engine is idled out. Come on, come on, come on. Let's speed a little bit here. Do a little dynamic now. We're about 40 miles out. Like I said, we should be there within the next hour. It's been an hour and 20 minutes since we left Barstow, or since we left San Bernardino. I could probably shoot one more run without having to go to morning. Probably get a little bit dark if I do that. We're on another 2%, almost 2% downgrade now. I was actually surprised it was that steep downgrade here. And I'm not getting any mile marker numbers. Probably should have put me in the high road, to be honest. Or is this actually a railroad crossover? Oh, it is. this. We're still in Victorville, actually. We're probably on the south central side of Victorville, but we may have already passed the train station. Yeah. Oh. About a mile before the Amtrak station. Perfect. More than 35 through here because right now, because the speed limit drops to 35, then it's going to go for about a half mile, then it goes back up to 45. Yeah. So I'm trying to watch my speed, be prudent on my speeds through here. At an average clip of 40, we'll be clearing under an hour. That'll give us about 6 hours based on actual runtime. I'm probably just going to hold closer to this, or even 35, because there's another 35 mile an hour zone at the next signal in a mile and a half. But actually, I need to look at this, because the path I have set up actually has me ending in here in Victorville. So, reality, I need to throw a couple of switches up the line, and the speed limit should go up when we're done with it. Should is the key word. Whether or not that happens the way I want it to, now that's a different story. Does say the speed's going to go back up to 55 once we throw the switch. Just watch and see what's going on here. I can see exactly why now it doesn't. I'm probably be forced to take the switch too, dang it. Which I didn't want to take it though. A couple miles we should be back on the main, and then should be at the, and then it says we can floor it up back up to 55 miles an hour once we clear the main. We can go back up to 55. get across this, once we get around this corner, it's actually going to go back up for us for the speeds. And that should be a 34-mile straight shot, which really I think is like 29 miles until we hit the west yard board. Yep, it'll be 34 miles. It'll be 50 something board, I guess. The yard board will be here shortly, I guess. If I can and the terrain's healthy enough, I will generally try to run a train off of throttle increments only, no dynamic, no dynamic braking, no air brakes, none of that. It's generally flat and rolling hills through to Barstow. Which Barstow is generally considered the psychological, whether or not it is the physical, is not sure too much about. But it is generally considered the psychological halfway point between the cities of Los Angeles, California, and Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, just east of LA, or just east of Barstow, there's actually a Union Pacific cutoff. Because just west of Barstow, there's a UP track that goes towards another UP track that goes towards Palmdale, Lancaster, Mojave, and to the right and to the east is a UP that goes up to Vegas. So you guys can see where I'm going with that. Vegas isn't that bad of a city to go through, to be honest. I've never actually dealt with Vegas in real life or some conditions. But then from there, it's pretty much desert plain. I think there's a couple of mini mountain ranges, but nothing like to own. Between LA, or between Barstow and Needles. And I think you have the Arizona Plateau and all, and then you'll hit the heart of the Rockies once you hit New Mexico. But then going through, then if you go the southern route, it's once again straight, flat, and high speed running. The further east you get. And I mean, going through Arkansas, yeah, you'll get the Ozarks. Actually, you don't even go through Arkansas. You go north through Texas, Oklahoma, and then on into Kansas. Then hit up the Argentine Yard, which is in Kansas City, Missouri. Followed by which is the busiest yard in the BNSF system. And then from there you'll go up through Mace Line Sub to Fort Madison, Iowa, cross over the bridge there, and then go, and I'm running about 60, and I'm actually happy with just holding it 5 over and calling it a day. And then you'll have the Chipotle sub, or I call it the Chipotle sub. Yes, I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. Which the Southwest Chief will break off at Galesburg and go a different way, whereas the California 7 may or may not go the Chipotle all the way to Chicago. The Chipotle sub, or the and the other one I believe is called the BNSF Chicago sub, aka the racetrack. Is the other big sub on the Chicago side, so you have that. Whatever. So you got that. Then you've got El Ride. My brain's spinning in all different directions. So this is the weird part about San Bernardino County. Like I said, there's about 2.5 to 3 million people that live in the county. 1.8 supposedly live in .8 million supposedly live in the area south of the mountains. And for the record, Palm Springs is in Riverside County, and I'm trying to remember where the I-10 jumps county lines. And then you've got on the other side, on the San Francisco, no. So then you got that. Then you've got the San Bernardino Mountains, and then you've got get a little dark trip, but it's okay. A little dark I'm not worried about, but a lot of dark I am. What I'll probably then do from there is I'll probably run it, the game time, like a train schedule of a train crew, where they're on for 12 and then off for 10, even though the way it normally works actually is 10, they're off, when they're off for their 10, that means that that's, when they hit the 10-hour mark, that's when they get called. They usually be on duty in about 10 hours, so not, they're on the train right at the 10-hour mark. Throttle here. We're doing quite well with for ourselves right now. Use the restroom and get a drink. But we're getting close to mile marker number 11. issue, which is partly why I'm keeping it just under 50, is when some of those signals read the aspects that they read, it means go at a slightly slower speed than what you were going to go. That among other things, Linwood now. Linwood. And then from here, where else do we have to go by? We should be approaching the yard board within the next 5 minutes or so. As we've been running this part of the trip for 2 hours now, we've been running 4 hours total out of Los Angeles. receiving yard lead. some reason the speed ups here. Once again, it's one of those where I'm not going to even bother because the speed drops to 50 the minute I get in. I only run 38. Oh, I do need to increase my speed regardless. Now we were a little bit north of the highway. I think it's like the tracks are about 2 to 3 miles north of I-10 and I-40 at this point in the trip, and then you can see how the landscape changes once you get here. This is, I believe, Highway 58 or something. That goes to Bakersfield is what you'll cross over up there. And then that track right there is the Valley Junction. And the track that goes to coming in through Barstow, you can see the wash track, West Rip, fuel pad, and shop tracks. On the receiving side, that's more receiving. That's more receiving. That's the maintenance yard. Jump into this yard right here. This is the westbound departure track. I don't even know when I'm pulling in on this track. It's more mechanical and car repairs. There's your, and then that bridge dumps into your hump yard. All the way over there is your hump tracks. There are 20 hump tracks here. That's your hump. So that's your receiving yard over there. This, alright, so this is your receiving yard. This is your engine shop. It's some sort of a loop track from, I guess, west receiving in. This is your car repair yard. And that's your... That's a through track to not hump. Yard south runaround on the yard. Like I said, that's your 20 track hump. This is your west departure area. And I don't know what the hump trim track would be for. Yard runaround tracks. And what just happened? And then on the other side would be your eastbound tracks. Your eastbound tracks are closer to downtown, and so are your so is the Amtrak passenger terminal, actually closer to downtown. The mistake, though, with that was, and actually, I say mistake, but really, it's not when you think about when it happened. Was the fact that they put the Amtrak station on the north side of the yard when the town's on the south side of the yard. Now, Barstow. Overshot the signal by 2 engines. It wasn't red, so I'm not too worried about it. I do know that, I forget the exact westbound, but it's one of the westbound tracks actually where it has me has it starting on Needles. There's your west tower, so